Once upon a time there was a young man named Obina. He was not just any young man. He was a very rich man. He owned hotels, farms, trucks, and big buildings in many cities. People said he had more money than some countries. He was handsome. He wore fine suits and lived in a large house in Lagos. He ate food from around the world. Many women smiled at him everywhere he went. People praised him and wanted to be his friend. But Obina felt lonely inside. He did not know if people liked him because of his heart or because of his money. One evening he sat beside his father's bed. His father, Chief Okafor, was weak and thin. The old man held his son's hand. The room was quiet. A small lamp glowed near the window. Outside the city was loud, but inside, Obina only heard his father's breathing. His father whispered, "Promise me something." Obina leaned closer. "Yes, Papa, I promise." His father coughed and then spoke slowly. "Do not marry a woman who loves your name. Marry a woman who can love your hunger." Obina frowned. "My hunger?" His father nodded. "Yes. When you are hungry and you have nothing, who will feed you? When you have no title, who will sit beside you? Money attracts many hands but not all hearts. I want you to find a woman who will love you when you are poor." Obina squeezed his father's hand. "How will I find her? Everyone knows my name." His father's eyes filled with tears. "Go back to our village, Ireti, during the New Yam festival. I have been the secret sponsor for years. No one knows it. From now on it is your duty. Go there, not as a rich man, but as a simple man. Let them see your hunger. Look at the ones who help you when you are low. There you will see the true heart." Obina felt a lump in his throat. "I will do it, Papa." His father smiled gently. "Remember, my son, do not test love with pride. Test it with patience. And always tell the truth when the time is right." He closed his eyes and rested. A few hours later, Chief Okafor took his last breath. Obina held his hand and cried quietly. He lost his father and his guide on the same day. After the funeral, life moved on quickly. Men in suits came to talk about businesses. Women brought flowers and food. Obina listened and nodded, but his mind was still with his father's last words. He thought about marriage and about hunger. He thought about how to hide his name. He had a fiancée named Tanya. She was beautiful and came from a rich family. She laughed at his jokes and called him "my king." They had planned a big wedding. One afternoon, Obina walked past Tanya's dressing room. He heard her talking on the phone. "Yes, after the wedding I will be a queen," Tanya said. "I will make him sign papers. Then I will control everything he owns. He will not even know. Who cares about love when there is money? He is handsome, but money is sweeter." She laughed. Obina stopped at the door. His heart dropped. He felt like someone poured cold water on him. He listened as Tanya told her friend about how she would buy cars and travel. She said she would leave him if he refused her plans. Obina's hands shook. He walked away slowly. Later that day, he sat down with Tanya. He looked into her eyes. "You do not love me," he said quietly. Tanya smiled nervously. "What do you mean?" "I heard you on the phone," he said. "You love what I have, not who I am." Tanya's smile faded. "You are rich. Why does it matter?" "It matters to me," Obina replied. "I cannot marry someone who sees me as an account number." He ended the engagement and returned her ring. Tanya's face turned dark. She called him names and threw the ring on the floor. Obina did not shout. He apologized to her parents and left. The wedding was cancelled, people whispered. Some said he was foolish to end a good match. Others said he was wise. Obina stayed silent. That night he sat on his balcony and stared at the city lights. He remembered his father's voice. "Go to Ireti as a simple man." He called his trusted assistant, Kelechi, a man who had been with him since they were young. Kelechi was tall and calm. He understood Obina's moods. "Pack me old clothes," Obina told him. "Nothing fancy, just shirts, trousers, and slippers. Find me a small bag. I will leave Lagos in the morning. Do not tell anyone." Kelechi looked surprised. "Are you sure, sir?" "Yes," Obina said. "I need to disappear for a while. I needed to find myself and someone who will love that self." Kelechi nodded and left to prepare. The next day, before sunrise, Obina left his big house. He wore a faded shirt and carried a small bag. He left his watches and jewelry behind. Kelechi drove him in a simple car to the bus station. They hugged before he boarded the bus. "Be careful, Oga," Kelechi said quietly. "Remember, Lagos is not Ireti. People talk and eyes see differently." Obinna smiled. "That is the point. I want them to see me differently." He took the bus like any other traveler. The bus was crowded. Children cried. Women carried baskets. Men argued about politics. No one recognized him. No one asked for a selfie. Obinna sat by the window and looked at the passing trees and rivers. He felt free. He also felt nervous. He had never been poor. He did not know how to act poor. He prayed for humility. Hours later, they arrived at a dusty junction. Obinna got down and walked on a red path lined with palm trees. He saw brown mud houses and tall trees. Chickens ran across the road. Children played with sticks. Women carried buckets on their heads. The air smelled of firewood and fresh cassava. He reached the village square. There was a huge banner hanging between two trees. "Welcome to Ireti New Yam Festival," it said. Smaller signs said, "The secret sponsor will appear this year." Obinna looked at the banner and smiled. "They are waiting for me," he thought, "but they do not know I have arrived." He walked towards the farm area, where young men were harvesting yams. They lifted heavy tubers from the ground and placed them in baskets. Obinna greeted them politely. "Good morning, I am looking for work," he said. The men laughed. One of them, a strong man named Chaik, looked at Obinna's soft hands. "You want to work here? Look at your fingers. They are smoother than a baby's cheek," he teased. The others laughed. Obinna smiled nervously. "I can try," he said. Chaik handed him a hoe. "Show us how you dig yam," he said. Obinna took the hoe. He held it awkwardly. He had never used one before. He raised it high like a stick. When he brought it down, the blade missed the ground and nearly hit his foot. The men burst out laughing. Obinna's face turned red. He tried again, but the hoe slipped from his hand and fell into a puddle. The men laughed louder. "See him," another man joked. "He thinks the hoe is a microphone." Obinna bent down and picked up the hoe. Sweat started to run down his face. His shirt stuck to his back. He tried again, but his hands were weak. The earth felt hard and heavy. His arms shook. The basket looked like it weighed more than a car. The men clapped and laughed as he struggled. Obinna laughed with them to hide his embarrassment. He thought about his father's warning. He thought about hunger. "This is what hunger feels like," he told himself. One of the older men, an uncle named Ushena, touched his shoulder kindly. "Young man, farming is not for everyone," he said. "Maybe you should go back to whatever you used to do." Obinna shook his head. "Please let me stay," he said. "I need to learn. I do not want to run away from hard work." Another man, laughing but not unkindly, said, "You will learn quickly, because the festival is in a few weeks and we need all hands." They gave him a smaller basket and asked him to collect yam vines and dry leaves. It was easier than lifting heavy yams, but still harder than anything Obinna had done before. His fingers got dirty, his nails broke, he developed blisters. When he tried to stand up straight, his back ached. The villagers laughed but also taught him. As he worked, he listened to them talk about the festival. "They say the sponsor is richer than a king," one woman said, placing yams in a basket. "They say he may marry a girl from this village," another woman replied. "I hope he sees my daughter," a third woman laughed. "She is beautiful. She will give him fine children," men also joked. "If the sponsor is rich, why is he hiding?" "Maybe he is ugly," one man teased. "No, maybe he is shy," another said. "Or maybe he wants to see our real faces before showing his own," a woman replied. Obinna smiled to himself. They were right. He wanted to see their real faces. The sun moved across the sky. Obinna wiped sweat from his forehead. He thought of the air-conditioned rooms he used to sit in. He remembered the taste of his favorite drink. He looked at the simple food the farmers ate, boiled yam and palm oil. They gave him a portion. It tasted different from his city meals, but it filled him. He felt hunger in a new way. He felt gratitude for food in a new way. He also saw joy in places he never looked. Children ran around the field, laughing and chasing butterflies. Old women sang while cutting vegetables. Men argued about football teams. Even though their clothes were old and their houses were small, their laughter was big. It touched Obina's heart. As evening approached, the farmers tied the yam stalks together and prepared to go home. Obina rubbed his sore shoulders. He was about to leave when he saw a group of women decorating the square with fresh leaves and flowers. They hung up smaller signs. The secret sponsor will appear. Do not miss the festival feast. People pointed at the sign and whispered. Obina felt nervous and amused. They are putting up signs for me, he thought. They are looking down the road for a man in a big car, and I am here in old slippers carrying leaves. He walked towards the market road. He saw stalls with roasted corn, fresh pepper, and dried fish. He smelled spices. He watched a teenage girl roasting corn by a small fire. She wore a simple wrapper and had her hair tied with a scarf. She was handing a roasted corn to a little boy. Her face was serious but kind. She moved quickly and confidently. Obina's eyes rested on her for a moment, but he did not speak to her yet. He just watched her work. People were buying corn and laughing. The girl never looked up. She seemed busy and strong. Obina felt tired. He decided to rest under a tree near the road. He sat down on the dry ground. A small bird hopped near his feet. As he rested, he remembered his father's words again. He closed his eyes and whispered, I will find a woman who loves me when I have nothing. He felt hope and fear. He also felt something new, humility. He realized he had a lot to learn. He looked up at the sky turning orange. A small breeze cooled his face. He smiled. He thought of his father in heaven, watching him. He also noticed a big poster with a yam drawn on it. New Yam Festival. Sponsors wanted, it said. Obina chuckled. He wondered if he should laugh or cry. That night he slept in a small mud hut that the farmers used. The roof was made of palm leaves. The floor was hard. There was no bed, only mats. A small lantern burned in the corner. Obina lay down on the mat and stared at the low ceiling. He listened to crickets outside. He missed his soft bed. He missed his father's voice. But he felt alive. He felt like a different person. Before he slept, he touched the bracelet on his wrist. It was the only piece of wealth he brought. It belonged to his father. On the inside was engraved, Truth is light. Obina kissed it and whispered, Good night, Papa. He closed his eyes. The moonlight slipped through cracks in the wall. He drifted into sleep to the sound of distant drums, practicing for the festival. The morning light touched the roofs of the mud huts. Birds sang. Obina woke up with a sore back. He sat up slowly, rubbing his eyes. He looked around the simple hut. Men were getting ready for work. Some yawned, some laughed. Obina picked up his small bag and walked outside. The air was fresh. Dew covered the grass. He went to the farm early because he wanted to try again. He did not want to be the joke of the village forever. When he arrived, the other workers were already lifting yams. They smiled when they saw him. Ah, our big man is back, Chi joked. Are you ready to wrestle with the earth today? Yes, Obina said, trying to sound confident. Show me again. Chike handed him a hoe. Obina held it differently this time. He tried to copy how the other men stood. But he still struggled. The ground was hard and the hoe was heavy. His hand shook. He hit the earth at an angle and the hoe slid off. The others started to laugh again. What kind of bird are you? One man teased. Your wings are weak. Obina laughed with them to hide his frustration. I am learning, he said. Even birds learn to fly. Suddenly a voice came from behind. No, you are fighting the ground like an enemy. The ground is your friend. Respect it, and it will give you food. Obina turned around. It was the girl who roasted corn at the market. Today she wore a wrapper tied around her waist and a simple blouse. Her hair was in a neat braid. She held a bunch of cassava stems in her hands. She put down the stems and walked over. She took the hoe from Obina. Stand like this, she said. She placed his feet apart. She positioned his hands on the handle. Hold it like you are shaking hands. Not like you are grabbing a snake, she said. The men laughed. She smiled slightly. Now watch me. She lifted the hoe and brought it down gently but firmly. The blade cut into the soil. she lifted out a small yam without breaking it. Her arms were strong, her movements were quick. She handed the hoe back to him. "Your turn. Do not fight." "Just follow," she said. Obinna copied her. He bent his knees a little. He brought the hoe down at the right angle. This time the blade entered the soil. He felt the earth give way. He lifted a small yam. He looked at the girl and smiled. "It works," he said softly. She nodded. "Everything works when done the right way," she said. She picked up her cassava stems and prepared to leave. Obinna wiped his forehead. "Thank you," he said. "I am Obi." The girl did not stop walking. "I am Neka," she said over her shoulder. "Do not call me unless you need help again." There was no softness in her tone, but there was no mockery either. She walked away quickly. Chike whistled. "Naneka helped you. She does not help strangers," he said. "You must be special." Another man laughed. "Or she enjoys teaching birds to fly." Obinna watched Naneka walk away. He felt something warm inside. Not like his usual excitement when pretty women smiled at him. This feeling was quieter. He put the hoe on his shoulder and continued working. Each time he felt like giving up, he remembered Naneka's words. "Do not fight. Respect the ground." He slowed down. He listened. He felt the weight of the hoe and the rhythm of the earth. It felt like a dance. He made progress. Later that day, he went to the stream with the other men to wash off dirt. Neka was there with a group of women. They were washing cassava and talking. Obinna noticed that Anika's laughter was rare. When she did laugh, it was like a bell. The other women teased her. "Neka, we saw you teaching that stranger how to farm," one woman called Chiamaka said. "Do you like him?" Naneka rolled her eyes. "I do not even know his last name," she replied. Chiamaka laughed. "Who cares about names? Maybe he will be rich one day," she joked. Neka's expression did not change. "Money is not enough to make a man," she said. "I do not want to be with someone who thinks work is beneath him." Another woman, Ifioma, nodded. "True, but sometimes we do not know where our blessings come from. Maybe you should be nicer." "He is handsome." Naneka shook her head. "Handsome does not cook food," she said. The women laughed. Obinna pretended not to hear, but he did. He smiled to himself. He admired her honesty. After washing, he walked to the market. He wanted to buy roasted corn from Naneka to say thank you again. She was at her stall. A small fire burned beside her. She was fanning the flames with a woven fan. Corn cobs were lined up, turning slowly over the heat. She looked up and saw him. "Do you want corn?" she asked, her voice flat. "Yes," Obinna replied. "And I want to thank you again for helping me." She put a roasted corn in a wrapper and handed it to him. "Thanks are words," she said. "Actions show real thanks. Work hard, that will be enough." Obinna nodded. He paid her. Her hand touched his. It felt rough but warm. He took a bite of the corn. It was sweet. He looked at her face. It was beautiful in a plain way. She had high cheekbones and dark eyes. Sweat glistened on her forehead. She wiped it with the back of her hand. She did not smile. She looked tired. "Do you roast corn every day?" Obinna asked. "Yes," she said. "In the morning I farm. In the afternoon I roast corn. At night I sleep." "Why do you ask?" "I am curious," he said. "I am new here. I want to know everyone." "You do not need to know everyone," she said. "Just know yourself." Obinna was silent. He wanted to ask her about her dreams, her family. He wanted to ask why she looked sad sometimes and fierce other times. But he decided not to push. He remembered his father's advice about patience. He ate his corn and walked away. Later, at the farm, the young men teased him. "Our Obi is talking to Neka," Chika said. "Be careful. She does not like lazy men. She will beat you with a cassava stick," Obinna laughed. "I will not let her beat me," he joked. "I will just learn to work faster." In the evening, while carrying bundles of yam vines back to the barn, Obinna heard a loud voice. A tall, elegant girl approached the farm. She wore a shiny wrapper and had bright beads around her neck. Her hair was braided with colorful threads. She walked like she owned the ground. It was Amara, the daughter of the village chief. She was known for her beauty and pride. She looked at the men and then at Obinna. She smiled in a way that did not reach her eyes. "Who is this new farmer with smooth hands?" she asked loudly so everyone could hear. I am Obi, he answered politely. Ah, Obi, she repeated, dragging the name. What brought you here? Did the city chase you away? The men laughed. Obina smiled. I came to learn. I want to help with the festival, he said. Amara tilted her head. How noble, she said in a mocking tone. But be careful. Some of us are here to marry the sponsor. Others are here to carry baskets. Know your place. Obina felt a sting but kept his face calm. What is your place? He asked gently. Amara's eyes flashed. She did not expect him to ask her back. My place is wherever the sponsor is, she said. He will see me and forget the rest of you. Chaik whispered to Obina. Amara thinks she is already the sponsor's wife, but she does not even know his face. Amara heard Chaik and glared at him. Laugh if you want, she said. When he comes, you will all see. She turned and walked away, swaying her hips. Her friends followed her, whispering and giggling. Haneka saw the scene from a distance. She shook her head and returned to roasting corn. She did not join the women who were acting nice, only because of the sponsor. She did not have time to pretend. Her father was sick. She needed money for medicine. She needed to work hard. She did not care for a man she had never seen. That evening, Obina went to the stream to fetch water. He saw Neka there with her mother, Mama Ugo. Her mother was short and strong. She wore an old wrapper and held a basket of cassava. Neka, Mama Ugo said quietly, you help that boy too much. People are talking. They say you like him. You do not even know who he is. Neka sighed. I do not like him, Mama. He was struggling. Should I let him fail because people will talk? They will talk anyway. Mama Ugo frowned. We have enough problems. Your father is sick. We owe Chief Eziugo money for his medicine. We cannot invite more trouble. Naneka looked at the water, her face tense. I know, Mama, but he looked helpless. And I am tired of everyone thinking poor people cannot be kind. Maybe I am foolish, but I will not watch someone suffer when I can help. Mama Ugo softened. She touched Naneka's arm. You are like your father, she said. Stubborn and kind. It is a dangerous mix. They both laughed softly. Obina listened from behind a tree. He felt ashamed for eavesdropping but also touched by their conversation. He realized Aneka's kindness came from a deep place, not from a desire for reward. He wanted to know more about her. He also wondered if he deserved her kindness, since he was lying about who he was. After dinner under the stars, the villagers sat around small fires. They told stories and sang songs. Obina sat with the farmers. They told him about past festivals, about yam competitions and dance contests. They laughed about who fell during the masquerade dance and who cooked the worst soup. Obina laughed with them. He felt like he was part of something. He looked up and saw Naneka sitting with her mother across the square, quietly listening. She did not laugh or sing. She was thinking. Obina leaned back and looked at the sky. He whispered quietly, Father, maybe I understand you now. Maybe hunger teaches humility, and humility helps find true love. He closed his eyes and listened to the drums in the distance. The night was warm. Fireflies lit up the dark. He felt peace and curiosity at the same time. He wondered what tomorrow would bring. The village buzzed with excitement as the New Yam festival drew closer. Every day new signs were painted. Boys climbed trees to hang colorful clothes. Girls wove fresh palm fronds into decorations. Elderly women sat outside their huts carving yam sculptures. Men built stalls and raised bamboo poles. Drums echoed from the square morning and night as the drummers rehearsed. Laughter and noise filled the air like a thick blanket. The festival was the biggest event of the year. It was not just about new yam. It was about community, pride, and hope. Rumors about the secret sponsor spread like wildfire. At the market, women whispered as they sliced vegetables. At the stream, teenagers giggled. They say he is a young bachelor, one woman said while scooping rice from a sack. They say he is richer than 10 chiefs, another answered, arranging tomatoes. They say he will choose a wife from this village, a third woman added, tying her wrapper tighter. The rumors affected everyone differently. Some young women began to act more kindly, especially when people were watching. They fetched water for old women. but rolled their eyes when the old women turned around. They carried loads for small children, but scolded them when no one else was near. They joined groups that cleaned the market square just so elders could see them. They knelt to greet every man and woman, but their eyes were not humble. They smiled when people looked but frowned when eyes turned away. Amara was the loudest among them. She organized a group of girls to sweep the village square every morning. She wore her finest wrappers each time and told the girls to sing loudly while working. When old women passed, she shouted, "Mama, let me help you," and took their baskets. She smiled widely and talked about how she loved her village and respected elders. One day she collected leftover food from her mother's kitchen and took it to the stream, where children gathered to play. She told the children to sit in a straight line and then handed them pieces of meat and yam. She laughed and told them to thank her loudly. When they finished, she clapped her hands and shouted to her friend Say, "Take a picture. Let everyone see how I care for the poor." Said raised a small phone and took a photo. The children, hungry, reached for more food, but Amara pulled the plate away. "That is all," she said, pushing a little boy's hand aside. He looked disappointed. Obinna saw all this while carrying firewood past the stream. He paused and watched. He saw how Amara acted when people were watching, and how she acted when they looked away. He shook his head. He continued walking. Neka did not join the show. She continued to farm in the morning and roast corn in the afternoon. When she finished, she returned home to her sick father. She did not look for the sponsor. She did not hope for him. She looked for ways to earn money for medicine. One afternoon, while Obinna was carrying firewood back to the barn, he saw Nanika struggling to tie a heavy bundle of sticks. He hurried over. "Let me help you," he said. "I can manage," she replied, her voice neutral. "I insist," he said. She looked at him with suspicion but stepped aside. He lifted the bundle and tied it with a rope. She watched quietly. "You do not have to do this," she said. "People will say you want something from me." "Let them talk," he answered. "Let them say I am kind or foolish. I would rather help than watch you struggle." She picked up a smaller bundle. "You talk like a poet," she said with a slight smile. "But poetry does not feed hungry mouths." Obinna smiled. "I will keep that in mind," he said. They walked together toward the market road. The path was narrow. Their shoulders almost touched. Dust rose around their feet. They passed children playing. They passed goats chewing grass. They walked in silence for a while. "What is your family like?" he asked. "Small," she replied. My father is sick. My brothers left to find work in the city. I am here with them." "Your father is sick," Obinna repeated gently. "What happened? His legs are weak," she said. "He cannot walk much. We have tried medicine, but it is expensive. The chief lent us money, but now he wants it back. He is pressing us." Obinna's jaw tightened. He felt anger towards the chief he had not yet met. "I am sorry," he said. "I hope he gets better." Naneka nodded. "Thank you," she said. At a bend, she stopped. "I will go this way," she said. "Thank you for helping." "Wait," Obinna said. "Can I ask you something?" She looked at him carefully. What kind of man would you marry?" he asked. She frowned slightly. "Why do you want to know?" "I am curious," he answered. "I want to understand what women like you think." She thought for a moment. "I do not care if a man is rich or poor," she said. "I care if he is kind. I care if he treats me like a person, not like property. I care if he is honest. Money is nice, but it does not cook food. Character does." "Would you marry a poor man?" he asked. "I would marry a man who does not make me feel small," she said. "If he is poor, we will plant more. If he is rich, we will still plant. Food comes from the ground, not from gold." Obinna smiled. He admired her answer. He also felt pain, because he knew he was hiding the truth. He did not want to lie, but he could not reveal his identity yet. He thanked her, and they went their separate ways. That evening, he sat by the farm and thought about what she said. He knew many girls in the city who wore expensive clothes and knew how to speak to please men. They cared about cars and trips. They asked about trips to Dubai more than about his day. They did not know how to farm. They did not know how to carry firewood. Nanika was different. Meanwhile, Amara grew more suspicious of Obi. She noticed that he spoke politely and did not bow to her like the other boys. She noticed that he did not look at her the way other men looked at her. He looked at her like she was any other person, not the chief's daughter. This offended her. "Who does he think he is?" she complained to Sad one evening. "He looks like a poor man, but he speaks like he knows things. He looks at me like I am ordinary." "Maybe he is just shy," Sade suggested, combing her hair. "No," Amara snapped. "I think he is hiding something. I saw him speak on a small phone near the palm tree last night. It was not a cheap phone, it looked expensive." Sade's eyes widened. "Are you sure?" "I am sure," Amara said. "He was speaking quietly, I could not hear everything, but he said, 'Yes, keep it ready.' He was speaking English like a rich man." Why would a poor farmer have a phone like that? Sadie thought for a moment. "Maybe he stole it," she whispered. "Or maybe he is the sponsor," Amara said slowly, as if tasting the idea. "What if he is pretending to be poor? What if he wants to see how we treat him?" Sadie shook her head. "That is crazy. Why would he do that?" "To test us," Amara said, her eyes narrowing. "To see who is genuine. Rich men do strange things. But I will not be fooled. I will watch him. I will catch him if he is lying." She and Sad decided to spy on him. They hid behind trees near the farm in the evenings to see if he used his phone again. They followed him at a distance when he went to the market. They told other girls to be careful of him. They whispered about him in corners. Their suspicion grew like weeds in a garden. Obinna did not know he was being watched. He continued to work and learn. He continued to speak to Neka when he could. He continued to sleep on the hard mat at night. He continued to think of his father's words. One night he walked to the edge of the village to make a secret call. He had to call Kelechi to check on his businesses and make sure things were running smoothly. He hid behind a palm tree and brought out a small phone. He dialed Kelechi's number. "Kelechi," he whispered when Kelechi answered. "How is everything?" "Fine, sir," Kelechi replied. "Your managers are handling things. People miss you, but they think you are on vacation." "Good," Obinna said. "Do not let anyone know where I am. And please send some money quietly to the village health center. No one should know it is from me. Make it look like a donation from a kind stranger." "Understood," Kelechi said. "Are you okay?" "I am fine," Obinna replied. "I am learning. Tell the workers to continue without me." "And Kelechi, thank you." "You are welcome, sir," Kelechi said. "Call again when you can." They ended the call. Obinna put the phone back in his pocket. He wiped his face and leaned against the tree. He heard rustling behind him but saw no one. He shrugged it off and returned to the hut. However, Amara's friend Say had seen him. She was hiding behind a bush. She ran back to Amara. "He really has a phone," Sade whispered, out of breath. "I saw him talk on it. He said things like manager and donation. It sounded important." Amara smiled slyly. "Aha," she said. "So he is not just a farmer. I knew it. We will watch him more. If he is the sponsor, I will catch him. And if he is not, I will make him wish he never set foot here." At the same time, other people continued to prepare for the festival honestly. Men carried drums to the square. Boys practiced the masquerade dance, jumping and spinning with masks on their faces. Girls wove baskets. Elders taught children the festival songs. Naneka did not join the choir. She listened from her house and hummed quietly while grinding pepper. She had a good voice, but she did not like crowds. She preferred to sing alone or to her father when he could not sleep. One evening, Obinna went to Neka's roasted corn stand again. The sky was pink with the setting sun. The smell of smoke filled the air. Neka fanned the fire. Her mother sat nearby, selling vegetables. Obinna greeted them. "Mama Yugo, good evening," he said politely. "Obi." Mama Yugo replied, surprised that he knew her name. "Good evening. You work hard." "Your daughter works harder," he said, smiling. Mama Yugo smiled too, though she looked tired. "She is our blessing," she said softly. "Can I have 2 roasted corns?" Obinna asked. Naneka gave him the corn. He paid. He stood there, not leaving immediately. He looked around at the other vendors. He listened to the market noise. He felt at peace. Suddenly, a group of boys ran past, chasing each other. One of them bumped into a stall, and a basket of tomatoes fell. The tomatoes rolled everywhere. People screamed. Neneka dropped her fan and quickly started picking up the tomatoes for the old woman who owned the stall. Obinna bent down and helped too. Their hands touched briefly as they reached for the same tomato. They both looked up, surprised, and then smiled. Amara saw them. She was buying earrings from a nearby stall. She turned to Sade, who was with her. "Look at them," she whispered, her nose wrinkling, "playing in the dirt like children. She thinks she is being humble. She thinks everyone will praise her. Wait and see. She will not get what she wants." Sade nodded, though she did not fully understand her friend's anger. "What if he is not the sponsor?" she asked. "Then he is just a poor fool," Amara said. "And if he is, I will have his attention soon. Watch me." As the festival day approached, tension rose. People practiced more. Clothes were washed and ironed. Children were told to behave. Animals were kept away from the square. Everyone looked out for the arrival of big cars or strangers who looked rich. Each time a truck passed, people whispered, "Maybe that is him." But the trucks were full of yam, plantain, or firewood. The sponsor did not appear. One evening, while eating dinner at the workers' hut, Obinna heard Shaike talk about the secret sponsor. "Do you think he will actually marry someone from here?" Shaike asked. "I do not know," another man replied. "But I know one thing. Whoever it is will be very lucky. That man is rumored to be wealthy beyond measure. He may choose Amara," Cheek suggested. "Her father is the chief. It would be a powerful match. Or he may choose someone simple," Obinna said quietly, surprising everyone. They looked at him. Chaik laughed. "Why would a rich man marry a poor girl?" he asked. "Maybe because she is not after his money," Obinna replied. His words hung in the air. Some men nodded thoughtfully. Others looked at him strangely. Later that night, Obinna walked by the river alone. He thought about the festival. He thought about Neneka. He thought about Amara's plan. He thought about his father's test. He felt heavy. He also felt hope. He looked up at the moon and whispered, "Help me do this right. Help me not hurt innocent people. Help me find truth without causing pain." He watched the moonlight ripple on the water. He listened to frogs croak. He felt the cool air. He breathed deeply. He knew trouble was coming, but he did not know when. He promised himself he would stay strong. Suddenly, a voice spoke behind him. "You think you are better than us?" Obinna turned. It was Amara. She stood with her arms crossed. Her eyes were sharp. "No," Obinna said calmly. "Yes, you do," she insisted. "You think you can come here and act humble, and we will all clap for you. We see you, Obi. We see the way you talk to that poor girl. You are playing games. Do not play games with me." Obinna looked at her for a long moment. He chose his words carefully. "I am not playing games," he said. "I am living my life. If you think I have time for games, maybe you are the one playing." Amara's face darkened. "Be careful," she said softly. "I do not like to lose." She turned and walked away into the darkness. Obinna watched her go. He felt a chill, not from the air but from her words. He knew she would cause trouble. He also knew he could not control everything. He whispered a prayer and then returned to his hut. That night, Sade told Amara about the phone call she had heard. Amara smiled, her mind spinning with plots. She decided to act soon. She did not want to wait for the sponsor's arrival to secure her place. She wanted to force the truth out now. She planned to set a trap and watch Obi fall. Her eyes glittered in the candlelight. She whispered to Sadie, "Watch tomorrow." The sun rose gently the next day, casting long golden lines across the village. Farmers returned to the field, singers practiced, and children ran around excitedly. To outsiders, everything seemed normal, but something simmered underneath. Amara's plan was unfolding. She had decided to trap Obi and reveal his secret. She told Say to bring him food at the farm and act kind, pretending she had changed her mind about him. Her goal was to make Neneka jealous and confuse everyone. Then she would hide the festival money under his mat and accuse him of stealing. She smiled at the thought. That morning, Obinna went to the farm as usual. He greeted everyone and picked up a hoe. He worked silently, focusing on his movements. He felt stronger now. His back hurt less. His blisters had turned into calluses. He lifted small yams and placed them into baskets. He wiped sweat from his face. He felt pride in his simple progress. Around noon, Amara walked toward the farm with a bowl of food. She wore a bright yellow wrapper and beads around her neck. Her hair was braided neatly. She smiled sweetly, but her smile did not reach her eyes. Behind her, Sada followed, carrying a jug of water. "Obina," Amara called, waving her hand. The men stopped and turned. They whispered. No one ever saw Amara bring food to a worker. She walked up to Obina and held out the bowl. "I brought you something to eat," she said. Her voice was soft. Obina looked at her and the bowl. He was confused. He did not trust her, but he did not want to cause a scene. He smiled politely. "Thank you," he said, taking the bowl. He looked inside. It was yam porridge with vegetables and fish, steaming and fragrant. It looked delicious. "You work hard," Amara said sweetly. "You need to eat well." "I appreciate it," Obina replied. He held the bowl awkwardly. Amara stepped closer. "We got off on the wrong foot," she said. "I am not as mean as people think. I can be kind too. Maybe we can start over." Obina's eyes met hers. He saw calculation behind her smile. "We can be respectful," he said politely. "Thank you for this food." She brushed an imaginary speck off his shoulder. "I hope you enjoy it," she whispered. She turned around and walked away with Sade. People around whispered and stared. Nanika watched from a distance, her lips pressed together. She was roasting corn nearby. She saw Amara's gestures and heard her words. She felt a sharp pain in her chest, like jealousy mixed with anger. She told herself she did not care, but she did. She turned her head and focused on fanning her fire. After Amara left, Obina held the bowl and sat on a log. He picked up a spoon and took a small bite. It tasted good. He ate slowly. He did not want to waste food or insult Amara, but he also felt uneasy. He wondered what she wanted. After a few bites, he closed the bowl and set it aside. He planned to give the rest to one of the young boys later. He stood up and returned to work. Later, as he carried a basket of yams to the barn, he saw Naneka walking toward the stream with a pile of firewood on her head. He hurried to catch up. "Neka," he called, panting. "Let me help you." She did not stop. "Why? Do you not have food to eat with Amara?" she snapped. Obina flinched. "It was not my idea," he said. "She brought it to me. I did not ask." "So you ate it?" Naneka asked sharply. "I could not throw it on the ground," he said. "It would be rude." She stopped and turned to him. "Do you know what rude is?" "Rude is laughing at people who are hungry while you sit on the ground eating like a king," she said. "Rude is acting like a poor man while accepting food from the rich girl who mocks you." Obina opened his mouth to explain but closed it. He realized that to her, his acceptance of Amara's food looked like gratitude for someone who insulted poor people. He understood her anger. He felt guilty. "Neka, I am sorry," he said quietly. "I did not want to offend you. I did not know what to do. I will not accept food from her again." She looked at him for a long time. Then she sighed. "You can eat with whoever you want," she said coldly. "Just know that not all acts of kindness are real. Some are traps." "I know," he said. "Please believe me. I did not ask for it." "Belief is earned," she said. She turned and kept walking. He followed her, but she did not speak. He felt heavy. He wished he could tell her the whole truth. He wanted to say, "I am not a poor farmer. I am the sponsor. I am testing everyone." But he could not. He needed to finish the test. And he needed to protect her from being suspected of knowing his secret. The rest of the day was tense. Obina worked quietly. Naneka ignored him. Amara watched from a distance. Said whispered to anyone who would listen that Naneka was jealous because Obi liked Amara now. The rumor spread quickly. Men teased Obina. Women whispered about Naneka behind her back. They said she was foolish to think she could catch a rich man by defending a poor one. They said she was jealous of Amara's beauty. They said she was pretending to be humble to catch the sponsor's eye. Naneka heard their words. Her face burned. She swallowed her anger and continued working. At the end of the day, the farmers went to the hut where the festival money was kept. The money came from donations for the festival. It was supposed to be used for decorations, food, and performers. The money was counted and kept in envelopes in a locked box. Only certain people knew where it was. Amara knew, Sadi knew, Chief Ezugo knew. And now, Amara wanted to use it to ruin Obi. Late that night, when most people were asleep, Sadi sneaked into the room where the money was kept. She moved quietly like a cat. She knew where the key was hidden under a mat. She opened the box and took one envelope filled with cash. She tiptoed to the worker's hut. She gently lifted Obina's mat. He was sleeping soundly. She slid the envelope underneath. She returned the key and closed the money box. Her hand shook, but she smiled. "Tomorrow he will be called a thief," she whispered to herself. She returned to her hut and slept. The next morning was bright. The festival money had to be counted again to pay for decorations. A young man named Nanamdi went to get it. He unlocked the box and gasped. "One envelope is missing," he shouted. The news spread like fire. People gathered outside the hut. Chief Ezugo, a tall man with a broad chest and a stern face, rushed over. "What happened?" he demanded. "The money," Sir Nanamdi stammered. "It is gone." "Who was on guard?" Chief Ezugo barked. The guard looked frightened. "I was, sir," he said. "I slept outside the hut. No one came." "Someone came," Chief Ezugo growled. "No one is leaving until we search every corner. If a thief has taken our festival money, we will find him." Men nodded. They began to search the workers' hut. They lifted mats, opened bags, shook clothes. Obina watched, his heart beating fast. He knew he did not take any money. But he also knew he had been targeted by some. He looked around at the anxious faces. One of the guards shouted, "Here, I found something!" He held up an envelope. It was full of cash. It was the missing money. He had pulled it from under Obina's mat. Obina's stomach dropped. The crowd gasped. People whispered. Some shook their heads. Some looked at Obina with suspicion. Chief Ezugo's eyes narrowed. "Obi," he said, his voice hard. "Explain this." Obina stepped forward. His voice shook slightly. "I do not know how that got there," he said. "I did not steal it." "Of course he did not," Naneka said loudly, stepping out of the crowd. Her face was flushed. "He works hard. He does not even have a decent pair of shoes. Why would he risk everything for an envelope of money?" Amara smirked from the back. She whispered to Sadi, "Here we go." Chief Ezugo held up his hand. "Do you have proof?" he asked Neka. "If not, do not waste your breath." Neka looked at the chief. "I have no proof," she said. "I have only my eyes and my heart, and both tell me he is not a thief." People murmured. Some nodded. Others looked skeptical. Amara stepped forward with a sweet, fake, sad face. "Neka, you have a kind heart," she said loudly. "But sometimes kind hearts get blinded. We cannot trust feelings over facts. The money was under his mat. That is a fact." Said nodded vigorously. "Yes," she added. "I saw him near the money hut last night." Obina's head snapped towards Said. "That is a lie," he said, his voice steady now. "I was at the palm tree making a call." "A call?" Chief Ezugo repeated sharply. "To who? You have a phone? Show us." Obina froze. He could not bring out his expensive phone. It would ruin his disguise. He said nothing. The crowd took his silence as guilt. Chief Ezugo crossed his arms. "You cannot explain this," he said. "Our festival is at risk. You must be punished. You will work day and night without pay until the festival ends. If you refuse, you will be beaten and sent away. Does anyone object?" The crowd remained quiet. Some looked uneasy. Others nodded in agreement. Nanika looked around, searching for support. No one spoke. Tears filled her eyes, but she blinked them away. She stepped forward. "I will speak," she said. "Chief, with respect, if he steals, punish him. But I do not believe he did. I will stand with him. I will take some of his punishment if needed." Her mother pulled at her wrapper. "Come back here," Mama Yugo whispered, fear in her voice. "This is not our fight." Neka shook her head. "It is," she whispered back. "Right is right." The chief glared at Aneka. "Are you calling me unfair?" he asked slowly. "No," she said calmly. "I am asking you to look deeper." The chief slammed his hand against a table. "Enough," he said. The decision stands. Obi, you will work as I said. The festival must not suffer because of you. And you, he said to Naneka, will watch your mouth. One more disrespect and you will join him. Obinna nodded. I will work, he said quietly. He looked at Naneka, her eyes met his. He saw gratitude and worry. Amara smiled to herself. Perfect, she thought. She watched as guards collected tools and led Obinna away. She watched Naneka follow at a distance. She felt satisfied, but she was not done. Obinna worked all day and night. He carried yams until his shoulders ached. He swept the square until his fingers bled. He fetched water until his legs trembled. People watched him and whispered. Children sang a song. Obi the thief works all night, no sleep, they giggled. Obinna's face burned with shame. He wanted to shout that he was not a thief. He wanted to expose Amara, but he did not. He remembered his father's warning. Test with patience. At night when everyone slept, Obinna sat outside the hut, his back against the mud wall. He held his bruised hands. They hurt. He closed his eyes. He thought about his father. He thought about Naneka. He thought about the festival. He wanted to give up. He wanted to leave, but he stayed. While he sat there, Naneka approached quietly. She carried a small cup of water. She knelt beside him. Drink, she whispered. He looked at her in surprise. You should not be here, he whispered back. You will get into trouble. I do not care, she said. Drink. He took the water and drank. It cooled his tongue. He handed the cup back. Thank you, he said. She looked at his hands. She touched his bruises gently. Her fingers were rough but careful. You need rest, she said. I cannot rest, he replied. They will watch me. I will watch you too, she said softly. I will not let them kill you slowly with work. You are not alone. Obinna felt a lump in his throat. He wanted to tell her the truth. He wanted to say, I am wealthy, I am not this man. But he could not. Instead, he whispered, why are you doing this? You hardly know me. She looked at him, her eyes dark and shining in the moonlight. I am doing this because it is right, she said. If I let them break you for something you did not do, I am not better than them. And, because I believe you. Her voice softened at the last words. Obinna swallowed. Thank you, he said. I will remember this. She stood up. Sleep if you can, she whispered. I will wake you before they come. She turned and disappeared into the darkness. Obinna watched her go. He leaned back and closed his eyes. He whispered, Thank you. For the first time since his father died, he felt comfort. He felt that someone cared for him as a person, not for his money. He relaxed slightly. He fell asleep briefly. He dreamed of his father standing in the yam fields, smiling. His father held out a yam and said, Patience, my son. Patience. Obinna nodded in the dream. He woke up when he heard drums in the distance. It was dawn. The festival was coming. He stood up, stretched his sore body, and prepared to work again. At the edge of the square, drummers practiced for the festival. Their drums spoke of celebration and new beginnings. They did not know that behind the rhythm, there was a storm brewing. Obinna picked up his hoe. He whispered to himself, It will be over soon. He looked at the sky turning from dark blue to orange. He listened to the drums and the birds. He thought of Naneka's words. He felt hope and pain. He knew he had to endure. Obinna's punishment continued. For 2 days, he worked from sunrise to midnight without rest. He carried heavy yams, swept wide areas, fetched water from the stream and stacked firewood. His palms cracked, blisters formed and burst. His shoulders burned, his feet swelled, his back ached. He felt like giving up many times. Each time he slowed, a guard tapped his back with a stick. Move, they ordered. He gritted his teeth and moved. He did not want to cry in front of them. He did not want them to see his weakness. Naneka watched quietly. She wanted to help more, but she could not risk drawing more attention. Women whispered when she brought him water or food. They said she was foolish. They said she was in love with a thief. They said she was destroying her family's name. She ignored them. She whispered to Obinna to keep going. She hid water near his path so he could drink quickly when no one was watching. She wrapped his hands with cloth after dark to protect them. Mama Ugo scolded her at home. Neka, you will kill us. her mother said one night. Chief Ezugo already hates that boy. If you anger him more, he may not forgive our debt. He may throw us out of our house. Neka sighed. Mama, I cannot watch and do nothing, she said. Her mother wiped her own tears. I know, she whispered. But we are poor, we cannot fight the chief. Sometimes silence is wisdom. Naneka hugged her. I love you, Mama. I will be careful, she promised. But her heart told her she would not be silent. Truth mattered to her more than safety. Meanwhile, Kelechi investigated quietly as Obinna asked. He arrived in the village disguised as a trader selling cloth. He mingled with the people and listened. He asked questions about the missing money casually. He saw Sade sneaking around nervously. He noticed a small oil stain on the envelope when the money was found. He discovered that Amara had brought oily food to Obi at the farm earlier that day. He suspected Amara and Sade. He gathered little clues. He planned to reveal them at the right time. He reported back to Obinna secretly near the stream at night. I know who did it, Kelechi whispered. Obinna felt relief and anger. Do not confront them yet, he whispered back. Wait for the right moment, it will come soon. On the third day, rumors spread that the secret sponsor would arrive in 3 days. People were more excited than before. They forgot about the theft for a moment. They danced and sang. They decorated more. They practiced speeches. The punishment continued, but the drums of the festival grew louder. The villagers painted signs that said, We welcome our sponsor, long live our benefactor, and may your yam harvest never fail. They were eager to impress someone they had never seen. Amara saw that the village still focused on the sponsor. She grew anxious. She thought the crowd did not care enough about Obi's theft. She decided to push more. She told Chief Ezugo that Obi's presence was causing tension. She said he was a bad influence on Naneka. She said he should be expelled. Chief Ezugo considered it. He hated trouble. He also wanted the sponsor to be happy when he arrived. He did not want any scandal. He decided to watch a bit longer. On the 4th day, early in the morning, Naneka brought a small bowl of herbal cream to Obinna. This will help your hands, she whispered. Obinna looked into her eyes. You should not keep helping me, he said softly. You will get into trouble. It is not worth it. It is worth it to me, she whispered back. I do not know why, my mother says I am stubborn. Maybe she is right, but I cannot let them kill you for nothing. Obinna felt a sting in his chest. He looked down. Thank you, he whispered. If I survive this, I will remember you forever. Do not speak like you are going to die, she said sternly. You are not going anywhere. Their quiet conversation was interrupted by Chief Ezugo's loud voice. Everyone to the square, he shouted. We have news. People dropped what they were doing and hurried to the square. Obinna wiped his hands and followed slowly. The drums stopped. People whispered. The chief stood on a raised platform. His expression was serious. We have received a message from the secret sponsor, he announced. The crowd fell silent. He will arrive in 3 days to attend our feast. However, he will not show his face until we reopen the case of the missing money and clear this matter. He says our village must judge fairly before he joins us. If we do not, he may not come. The crowd gasped. People looked at each other. The sponsor cared about the missing money? He knew about it. How? They did not know that the sponsor was standing among them, listening. Amara's heart raced. She felt a cold wave of fear. How did he know, she thought. She looked at Sade. Sadie avoided her eyes. We will hold a public hearing tomorrow, Chief Ezugo declared. Anyone with information must speak. We will not shame ourselves before our benefactor. The crowd murmured. Some nodded. Some looked worried. Amara felt cornered. She whispered to Sade, Stay calm. Do not say anything. Do not confess, I will handle it. Sadie nodded, trembling. That night, people gathered in small groups and whispered about the case. Some said Obi was innocent. Some said Amara was cunning. Others said they did not care as long as the sponsor came. Naneka sat by the fire outside her house. Her father slept inside, coughing occasionally. Her mother hummed softly while sorting vegetables. Naneka stared at the flames. She felt tired. She wondered if the truth would come out. She hoped so. Obinna sat outside the workers' hut, staring at the stars. His hands throbbed. He closed his eyes. He thought about his father's voice. He thought about Naneka's bravery. He thought about the crowd that mocked him. He whispered a prayer for strength. He heard footsteps. "Obi," a familiar voice whispered. It was Kelechi. "Kelechi," Obinna whispered. "What are you doing here? You should not be seen." "I came to tell you something," Kelechi said quietly. "Tomorrow at the hearing, we will reveal the truth. I have witnesses, but you must stay calm. Let them speak. Do not interrupt. Do not say who you are. Let the hearing happen naturally. The crowd must see it, not hear it from you." Obinna nodded. "I will," he said. "Thank you." Kelechi nodded and disappeared into the darkness. Obinna took a deep breath. He felt relief. He also felt worry. He hoped the truth would not bring more pain. He whispered, "It is almost over, Father. Almost." He closed his eyes and tried to sleep. Drums in the distance played a gentle rhythm, like a heartbeat. Morning came quickly. The village square was crowded. Men, women, and children gathered. The sun was hot. People shaded their eyes. Chief Ezugos sat on a high chair. Elderly men sat beside him. Drummers stood near the stage, ready to drum when needed. The accused, Obi, stood to the side. The accusers, led by Amara and Sade, stood across from him. Neka stood beside her mother, a few steps behind Obi. Her heart raced. She prayed silently. Chief Ezugo cleared his throat. "We will hear about the missing festival money," he said loudly. "If the thief is among us, speak now. If not, we will find the truth." He looked around. Everyone was silent. He nodded to one of the elders, who began to call witnesses. First, the guard spoke. "I did not sleep during my watch," he said nervously. "I sat outside the door. I did not see anyone enter, but maybe I slept for a moment." Next, a young boy named Timmy, about 10 years old, stepped forward. His clothes were torn and he looked scared. "Speak," the elder said. "I was going to pee behind the hut," Timmy said quietly. "I saw Sade carrying something under her wrapper. I thought it was food, but when I asked for some, she pushed me and told me to go away." The crowd murmured. People turned to look at Sade. Sade's face turned pale. She looked at Amara. Amara whispered, "Do not say a word." Then Kelechi, disguised as a trader, stepped forward. He held a piece of cloth like he was selling it. He spoke politely. "Pardon me," he said. "I am just a trader passing through, but I want to help. I saw something 2 nights ago. I saw this young woman," he pointed to Sade, "sneaking out of the money hut with an envelope. She hid it under Obi's mat. I watched quietly because I did not know the village rules. But now that your sponsor cares, I must speak." The crowd gasped louder. Sade's knees shook. She looked like she might fall. Chief Ezugo glared at her. "Is this true?" he asked, his voice booming. Sade burst into tears. She fell to her knees. "It was Amara," she cried. "She told me to do it. She gave me the key. She said we should hide it under Obi's mat. She said everyone would believe he stole it because he is poor. I am sorry." Amara's face turned white. "You liar," she shouted, pointing at Sade. "You want to throw me under the bus to save yourself." Chief Ezugo stood up. "Silence," he roared. The crowd fell silent. He turned to Amara. "Is there palm oil on this envelope?" he asked, holding up the cash with an oil stain on it. "Yes," Kelechi said. "And Amara brought food to Obi that day. The oil spilled on it." He showed the bowl of yam porridge, still greasy, which he had taken from the trash. It matched the stain. The crowd murmured. Some people looked ashamed. Others looked angry. Chief Ezugo looked at Amara. "Do you have anything to say?" he asked quietly. Amara's eyes darted left and right. She could not deny the evidence, but she could not admit it either. She tried to twist the story. "Yes," she said loudly. "I gave Sade the key, but not to steal. I thought she would count the money. She used it to trap Obi because Neka told her to. Neka wanted Obi to look poor so she could look kind. She planned this. They are both liars." The crowd turned toward Naneka. People whispered. Some looked shocked. Mama Ugo grabbed Naneka's arm. "Do not speak," she whispered. "Let them fall on their own swords." Chief Ezugo looked at Naneka. "Do you have a defense?" he asked sternly. Neka stepped forward. Her heart pounded. Her voice shook, but she spoke clearly. I did not tell anyone to steal. I did not plan any trap. I only defended a man who I believed did not steal. I did not know who hid the money. I still do not understand why this happened, but I know I told the truth. If you choose to believe lies, that is your choice. I will not argue with evil. Amara hissed. She felt her plan crumble. She felt the eyes of the village on her. She felt shame for the first time. She wanted to run, but pride kept her still. She clenched her fists. She looked at the chief. You cannot believe them, she shouted. You cannot listen to a stranger and a girl who does not respect her elders. I am your daughter. I am your blood. Chief Ezio's face softened for a moment, then hardened. Blood does not cleanse lies, he said quietly. If what they say is true, you have shamed this village. You have shamed me, and if you continue to shout, you will shame yourself more. Amara's eyes filled with tears, but they were angry tears. She bit her lip. She stayed silent. The chief turned to the crowd. Appears Obi did not steal, he announced loudly. The money was placed under his mat by Sade at the instruction of another. The money will be returned. Obi is free from punishment. The crowd clapped. Some shouted, We are sorry, Obi. Some looked embarrassed. Obina stood still. He felt relief wash over him like rain. He also felt sorrow. He had been called a thief, humiliated and punished. People had laughed at him. Now they were trying to clap away their guilt. He looked at Aneka. She smiled slightly, but her eyes were wet. He nodded to her. Thank you, his eyes said. She nodded back. You are welcome, her eyes said. Chief Ezugo continued. As for the rest, he said, looking at Amara and Sade, we will decide your punishment later. Go home. Prepare for the sponsor's arrival. Let us not let this shame ruin our festival. The crowd began to disperse. Some whispered apologies to Obina. Others avoided his eyes. Sade was led away, crying. Amara stood alone. She felt anger, humiliation, and fear. She saw Naneka walking away calmly with her mother. She saw Obi standing tall, his head high even though his clothes were dirty. She clenched her jaw. She whispered to herself, This is not over. Naneka felt tired but peaceful. She had spoken her truth. She did not know what would happen next, but she knew she would not regret defending him. She held her mother's hand. Mama Yugo squeezed it. You are brave, she whispered. I am proud of you. Nika smiled weakly. They walked home to check on Naneka's father. Obina returned to the hut to rest his sore muscles. He lay down and closed his eyes. He felt Naneka's small cloth bandage on his hands. He felt her words in his heart. He whispered thank you. Even though she was not there, he thought of Amara's anger. He wondered what she would do. He remembered his father's words. Do not marry a woman who loves your name. Marry a woman who can love your hunger. He smiled slightly. He thought he had met her. As he drifted to sleep, he heard festival drums far away. They were practicing again. The rhythm was different now. It was faster, hopeful. It said, Something is coming. Get ready. He fell asleep with that sound in his ears. The festival preparations continued, but now a shadow lingered over the village. The hearing had revealed truths and lies. People whispered more carefully. Some felt ashamed for laughing at Obi. They approached him shyly and offered help. Others still eyed him with suspicion. They wondered if he had some secret. They wondered how the sponsor knew about the missing money. They did not know. The sponsor was in their midst, watching. Amara stayed inside her father's house. She avoided people. She did not attend practice or help with decorations. She sat in her room, sulking. She felt humiliated. She had been exposed as a liar. She had lost face. She hated Obi. She hated Naneka. She blamed Sadi. She thought of ways to restore her pride. She visited her father secretly one evening. Father, she whispered, her voice sweet but firm. We must remove Obi from this village. He is causing trouble. He made me look bad. He will make the sponsor look down on us. Chief Ezugo frowned. You made yourself look bad, he snapped. You told lies. Now you want to blame him. Amara pouted. But father, she insisted, what if he is dangerous? What if he is a thief after all? What if he makes the sponsor angry? We should send him away quietly tonight. Then everything will be peaceful again. Chief Eziugo sighed. He loved his daughter, but he also loved his village. He did not want trouble. He did not want the sponsor to think the village was full of chaos. He thought about the festival. He thought about his reputation. He thought about the money he might receive. He rubbed his forehead. "Let me think," he said. Meanwhile, Neneka faced new trouble. After the hearing, some people respected her more. They said she was brave. They said she told the truth when others lied. But others turned against her. They said she was stubborn. They said she disrespected the chief. They said she had a mouth that would bring her family misfortune. Women whispered behind her back when she walked to the stream. They pointed at her and shook their heads. Men joked about her, thinking she could change the village. Even children repeated their parents' words. Neka heard them all. She felt tired. She felt alone. She also felt something else. She felt a growing connection with Obi. When she looked at him now, she saw strength and vulnerability. She saw a man who suffered and did not complain. She saw a man who accepted humiliation with grace. She wanted to protect him even more. She wanted to know his story. She wanted to know why he spoke with wisdom sometimes and nervousness other times. One afternoon, she confronted him near the stream. She was washing cassava. He walked by carrying a bucket. "Obi," she said firmly. He stopped. He looked at her cautiously. "Yes. I asked you a question the other day," she said. "You did not answer it. Who are you?" He shifted his weight. He looked at the water. He looked at her. "I told you. I am a man trying to know who would stand beside me when I have nothing," he said quietly. She frowned. "That is not an answer," she said. "That is a riddle. Why are you hiding? If you are poor, say so. If you are rich, say so. If you are running from something, say so. I cannot trust someone who hides behind riddles." He sighed. He wanted to tell her everything. He wanted to tell her his name was Obinna Okafor, not Obi. He wanted to tell her he owned farms and hotels. He wanted to tell her he was the sponsor, but he was afraid. He did not want to ruin the test. He did not want to make her feel used. He wanted her to love him for himself, not his money. But he also respected her honesty. He could not lie. So he answered with a piece of the truth. "I am hiding because I do not want people to treat me differently because of my name," he said softly. "I want to know who sees my heart before my money." She stared at him. For a moment she seemed to understand. Her expression softened, but then she shook her head. "You still speak in circles," she said. "You want to test people. But people are not games. They have feelings. They have lives. You are playing with them." "I am not playing," he whispered. "It is serious." "Then be serious and tell the truth," she said. "If you cannot, then you will lose everyone who cares about you." She turned and walked away, carrying her bowl of cassava. Obinna watched her go. He felt his throat tighten. He knew she was right. He knew he was hurting her with his silence. He felt torn between his father's test and his own heart. That evening, he went to the edge of the village and called Kelechi again. He needed advice. He walked to a quiet spot behind a large iroko tree. He took out his phone and dialed. "Kelechi," he whispered. "Yes, sir." Kelechi's voice came softly. "I think I am losing Neneka," Obinna said, his voice breaking slightly. "She asked me who I am. I could not tell her. She said I speak in circles. She is right. But what can I do? If I tell her, the test is over." Kelechi was silent for a moment. "Sir," he said gently, "the test's purpose is to find someone who loves you, not to hurt the one you love. You must decide what matters more, your father's words or your own heart. Sometimes the right decision is not easy." "I know," Obinna whispered. "What would my father do?" "I am not sure," Kelechi replied. "He valued truth. He also valued loyalty. He asked you to test love, but he also said to tell the truth when the time is right. Maybe the time is near." Obinna nodded slowly, even though Kelechi could not see him. "Maybe," he said. "I will think." They said goodnight. Obinna put the phone away. He rested his head against the tree. He closed his eyes. He felt the bark behind him. He felt the cool night air. He heard a rustling sound. He opened his eyes. He saw a shadow move behind the bushes. He thought it was a small animal, but he felt uneasy. He decided to return to the hut. What he did not know was that Sade had been hiding again. She had heard his words. She ran to Amara's house. "Amara," Sadie whispered urgently. "He just said something. He has a phone. He has someone named Kelechi. He said he is losing Neneka. He called her by name." Amara sat up. Her eyes lit up. "What did he say?" she demanded. "He said his father asked him to test love," Sade reported breathlessly. "He said he has to decide. He talked about his name. He said he does not want people to treat him differently because of his name. He said maybe it is almost time to tell." Amara's brain worked quickly. He is definitely rich, she thought. He said his father asked him to test love. That means he is the sponsor. He might reveal himself soon, and he likes Neneka. I cannot let that happen. She looked at Sade. "We have to act fast," she said. "We have to convince my father to throw him out before he can reveal. If he reveals, everyone will praise Neneka and hate me forever. We will go to my father now." They went to Chief Eziugo's room. Amara cried and told him that Obi was plotting something. She said he had a phone, he had secrets, and he was causing divisions. She said the sponsor would be angry if he saw such chaos. She said the festival would be ruined. She begged him to remove Obi quietly. Chief Eziugo, tired and worried about his reputation, sighed. He did not want more scandals. He did not want to risk the sponsor's anger. He decided to agree. He told 2 guards to go at night, wake Obi, and remove him from the village quietly. He did not want a scene. He did not want to beat him. He just wanted him gone. That night, when Obinna was finally resting after a long day of work, he felt hands shake him. He opened his eyes. 2 guards were standing over him. "Get up," one guard whispered. "We are taking you away." "Why?" Obinna asked, sitting up slowly. "No questions," the other guard said. "Just come." Obinna stood and followed them quietly. He did not want to fight. He did not want to create more noise. He walked behind them toward the village boundary. The night was dark. Crickets chirped. The guards held small lanterns. Obinna carried nothing. He felt a mix of fear and sadness. He thought, "This is it. The test is over. I have failed. I will leave without knowing if she could love me." As they walked down the dusty path, someone suddenly stepped into their way. It was Neneka. She was out of breath. Her hair was messy. She had a wrapper tied tightly around her waist. She held a stick in her hand. Her eyes were bright with anger and determination. "Where are you taking him?" she demanded, breathing hard. "Move, girl," one guard said roughly. "This does not concern you." "It concerns me," Neneka said, planting her feet firmly. "If you want to throw him out like a criminal, you will have to pass through me first." The guards looked at each other. They did not expect this. They did not know whether to push her or back off. They hesitated. Obinna's heart pounded. He looked at Neneka. Her face was fierce. He felt a rush of emotion. He felt love. He felt guilt. He felt something like awe. "Neneka," he whispered. "Please go home. Do not risk yourself." "No," she said firmly. "You will not leave like this. Not when you have done nothing wrong. Not when I stand here." She raised her stick. She shook slightly, but she held on. Her voice was steady. Mama Ugo appeared behind her, panting. She had been running. She grabbed Neneka's arm. "What are you doing?" she whispered, fear in her voice. "Come home." "No," Neneka repeated louder. "This is wrong. He is being punished again for nothing. I will not let it happen." Other villagers began to appear. They heard the noise. They saw the scene. Some whispered. Some shouted. Some held lanterns. Chief Eziugo arrived, his face angry. "What is this?" he demanded. Neneka turned to him. "Chief, you cannot throw him out like a thief," she said boldly. "You already punished him wrongly. Now you want to do more without a reason. Are we animals?" Chief Eziugo glared at her. "You speak too much," he said. "Go home. This does not concern you." "It concerns all of us," she replied. "If you can throw him out today, you can throw anyone out tomorrow. And I will not let you do it quietly." The chief looked around. People were watching. He did not want to cause a fight. He did not want blood on his hands before the sponsor arrived. He sighed deeply. "Fine," he said. "Take him back. But if anything goes wrong tomorrow, I will blame you, Neneka." Neneka stood tall. "Blame me then," she said. I am not afraid of blame. I am afraid of injustice. The guards looked confused. They turned and walked Obi back toward the hut. Nneka followed. Mama Ugo followed, shaking her head. Obinna felt tears in his eyes. No one had ever fought for him like this, he whispered. Thank you, but Nneka did not respond. She was too angry to speak. That night Obinna sat outside his hut again. He looked up at the stars. He thought about Nneka standing in front of the guards. He thought about how she did not hesitate. He thought about how his heart beat when she shouted. He felt love deep in his chest, but he also felt guilt. He was still lying. He thought, tomorrow, maybe I will have to tell her. Maybe the time is right. He closed his eyes. He slept lightly, dreaming of yamfield fields and a girl with a stick. The sun rose on the day before the sponsor's arrival. The village hummed with a strange mix of excitement and tension. The square was decorated with new palm fronds and colorful cloth. Women cooked large pots of yam pottage and soup. Men arranged chairs and tables. Children practiced dances. Everyone expected the sponsor's grand entrance. They imagined cars, horses, or a group of rich men in shiny clothes. They did not imagine the sponsor was walking among them, wearing dust-covered slippers and carrying a yam basket. At mid-morning, the entire village gathered in the square. Chief Eziugo wore his finest wrapper and coral beads. He stood tall on the raised platform. Drums played slowly. The air was hot. People fanned themselves with woven fans. A hush fell over the crowd. The chief raised his hand. We welcome our special guest, the secret sponsor who has blessed our village for years, he announced, his voice booming. He will reveal himself today and join us in celebration. Let us show him our gratitude and respect. He nodded to the drummers. They began a loud, joyful rhythm. Everyone turned their eyes toward the road leading into the village. They waited. Time passed. Nothing happened. After a few minutes, whispers started. Maybe he is late, someone said. Maybe his car broke down, another suggested. Maybe he is coming from the other side, a third whispered. The drummers continued to play. Sweat ran down faces. Children grew restless. 10 minutes passed. Still nothing. Chief Eziugo fidgeted. His smile faded. He looked at his elders. They shrugged. He tried to remain calm. He did not want to show fear. He clapped his hands to signal the drummers to stop. The drums fell silent. The square was quiet. Everyone looked worried. Suddenly, a messenger ran into the square panting. He held a folded paper. He climbed the platform and handed the paper to Chief Eziugo. The chief unfolded it and read silently. His face changed from curiosity to confusion. He cleared his throat. The sponsor has sent a letter, he announced. The crowd leaned forward. He says he will delay his public appearance until we do one more thing. He says, we must revisit a matter of truth. He says there is still injustice in this village, and he will not celebrate with us until it is corrected. He says we must judge the case of the missing money again. The chief's voice trembled slightly. He says if we do not, he may not come at all. A wave of surprise rolled through the crowd. People whispered loudly. What does he mean? One man asked. We already judged, a woman said. He must not know everything, another whispered. Amara's heart sank. She felt panic. Why will he not let this rest? She thought. Why is he obsessed with Obi? Chief Eziugo looked at the crowd. We have no choice, he said. We will reopen the case this afternoon. We will hear more witnesses. We will find the truth. Then we will send word to the sponsor that we have done his bidding. He stepped down. People murmured. Many looked at Obi. Some looked at Amara. Some looked at Nneka. The afternoon hearing began with the same people, but more tension. The sun was high. People shaded their faces with wrappers. Elders sat on stools. Children sat on the ground. A new energy filled the air. The sponsor had demanded this. They could not refuse. They felt like they were on a stage. First, Chief Eziugo called the guard again. The guard repeated his story. He said he did not see anyone, but he might have dozed off, people muttered. Next, Timi repeated his story about Sade. He looked braver now. He felt proud that the sponsor cared about his words. Then Kalechi, still disguised, spoke again. He repeated that he saw Say hide the money. He showed the greasy envelope again. The crowd nodded. Next, a young woman named Ada, who sold palm oil at the market, stepped forward. She spoke loudly. "I saw Sie outside the hut that night," she said. "She was with Amara. They were whispering. I did not know what they were doing, but now I see it." The crowd buzzed. More people came forward. A man said he saw Sade walking quickly from the hut. Another said he heard Amara telling Sade to be quiet. Slowly, a pattern formed. It was clear that Amara had plotted the theft. Chief Ezugo looked at his daughter. "Amara, do you have anything else to say?" he asked quietly. His voice had lost its anger. It sounded tired. Amara clenched her fists. She knew she could not deny it anymore. She looked at her father. She looked at the crowd. Some eyes were sympathetic. Others were cold. She swallowed hard. "Father," she began, her voice shaking. "I did not mean to harm the festival. I only wanted—" Her voice trailed off. She could not find a good reason. She burst into tears. "I am sorry," she sobbed. "I made a mistake. Please forgive me." Chief Ezugo closed his eyes. He took a deep breath. He turned to the crowd. "Amara has admitted her wrongdoing," he said. "She will be punished according to our laws after the festival. For now, let us focus on moving forward. Obi is cleared of all accusations. We will not speak of this again." The crowd cheered quietly, mostly out of relief. They did not know what Amara's punishment would be, but they were glad the case was closed. Some people hugged Obi. Others patted his back. He smiled weakly. He felt relief and sadness. It had been long. He turned to Neka. She smiled softly. He smiled back. Amara wiped her tears. She glared at Nanika through wet lashes. She blamed her. She blamed Obi. She blamed everyone but herself. She vowed quietly to never forget this shame. The hearing ended. People returned to their preparations. They cleaned the square, cooked more food, and arranged chairs. They sang songs of welcome for the sponsor. They rehearsed dances. They tried to forget the tension, but it lingered. That evening, as the sun set, Obinna approached Aneka near the yam barn. He felt he needed to speak to her. He felt he owed her an explanation. He walked slowly. His heart beat fast. "Neka," he called softly. She turned. She looked tired but calm. "Yes," she replied. "I want to thank you again," he said, "for standing up for me. For speaking when no one else did." "You were brave," she shrugged. "It was right," she said. "I did what anyone should do. But you owe me an answer." "Who are you?" he swallowed. "You will know soon," he whispered. "I promise. I cannot tell you everything now, but soon. Just trust me a little longer," she sighed. "Trust is not a small thing," she said. "It cannot be stretched like a rope forever. It breaks when pulled too tight." "I understand," he said. "I will not pull it too long. Tomorrow everything will change." "Tomorrow," she repeated. "Yes," he said. "The sponsor will reveal himself. When he does, you will know me." She stared at him. She searched his face. She saw honesty. She also saw worry. She nodded slowly. "Okay," she said. "I will wait until tomorrow, but if you lie to me again, I will not forgive you." "I understand," he said. "Thank you." He wanted to hug her, but he did not. He walked away. He felt lighter and heavier at the same time. He whispered to himself, "One more night, then no more hiding." That night, the village prepared for the sponsor's arrival. Men built a canopy. Women cooked yam porridge and pounded fufu. Young men rehearsed drumming. Girls practiced singing and dancing. The air was thick with anticipation. People spoke about the cars that would come. They imagined how the sponsor would look. They talked about who he might marry. They did not know he had already chosen someone in his heart. Obinna stayed in his hut, thinking. He thought about his father's voice. He thought about his money and his companies. He thought about the workers waiting for him in Lagos. He thought about the village's simple beauty. He thought about Naneka's eyes. He wondered if she would forgive him after the reveal. He prayed she would. The next morning, he woke early. He bathed quickly and put on his usual old clothes. He did not want to shock people yet. He tied a small wrapper around his waist and put on his cap. He walked to the square. People were already gathering. The drummers stood ready. Chief Ezugo wore his most formal attire and coral beads. Elder women wore their finest wrappers. Children wore new clothes. The village looked bright. Chief Eziugo climbed the platform again. He raised his hands. "Today we finally welcome our sponsor," he announced. "He will be here. Let us watch the road. Let us welcome him with joy." The drums began. The crowd turned to look at the road. Minutes passed. There was no car. There were no horses. The road remained empty. People shifted their weight. Some sighed. Others smiled nervously. They waited. The drums played louder. Chief Eziugo wiped sweat from his forehead. He looked worried. Suddenly, Obinna stepped forward. He walked toward the center of the square. The drums slowed. People turned their heads. They whispered. "What is he doing?" they murmured. Neka's eyes widened. She clutched her mother's arm. Mama Ugo held her breath. Obinna kept walking until he stood directly in front of Chief Eziugo's platform. He took off his old cap. He ran his hand through his hair. He looked at the crowd. He looked at Naneka. He took a deep breath. "I thank Ireti village for welcoming me as Obi the farmer," he said loudly. His voice carried across the square. People gasped. They had never heard him speak so boldly. He continued, "But my full name is Obinna Okafor." The crowd fell silent. Some mouths opened. Some eyes widened. People whispered his name to each other. "Obinna Okafor? The billionaire?" Someone whispered. "It cannot be." Another said. Obinna kept speaking. "I am the son of Chief Okafor," he said, "the man who sponsored this festival for years. And from this year, I am the sponsor you were waiting for." A wave of shock rolled over the crowd. People stood up. Some covered their mouths. Others fell to their knees. Chief Eziugo stared at him, speechless. "I came here as a poor farmer to see who would treat me well when I had nothing," Obinna said. "I wanted to know if love still exists without money. I wanted to see who has a good heart. Many of you were kind. Some were cruel. Some of you laughed at me. Some of you helped me. I am grateful to everyone because you showed me your true selves." He looked at Amara. She lowered her eyes, her face red with shame. He looked at Chief Eziugo. The chief looked away, embarrassed. He looked at the people who had mocked him. They shuffled their feet. He looked at the poor children. They stared at him with wide eyes. He looked at Aneka. She looked back at him, her eyes wet with tears and surprise. "I found the woman my father told me to look for," Obinna said, his voice softer now. "She stood up for truth when everyone laughed. She did not know my name. She did not know my money. She only knew what was right. She defended me when she had nothing to gain and everything to lose. She taught me how to hold a hoe. She showed me real strength. Her name is Naneka." People turned to Naneka. She felt her knees weaken. She felt her face burn. She felt people's eyes on her. She held her mother's hand tightly. She did not know whether to run or to stay. She felt happy and angry. She felt love and betrayal. Tears ran down her cheeks. "I wanted to find love without money," Obinna continued, "and I found it. But I fear I may have broken her heart before I could ask for it." He looked directly at Neka. "Neka, I am sorry. I lied about who I am. I did not tell you the truth. I wanted to test people. I see now that I hurt you. I understand if you cannot forgive me, but I want you to know that I respect you. I admire you. I love you." A hushed whisper ran through the crowd. People looked at Naneka. Some smiled, some frowned. Amara's face twisted with jealousy and disbelief. Chief Eziugo looked stunned. Mama Ugo covered her mouth. Tears streamed down her face. She whispered, "Thank you, God." The square remained silent for a moment. Obinna stood tall, waiting. Neka looked at him. Her mind spun. She felt like the world had tipped over. She wanted to speak, but words stuck in her throat. She loved the poor farmer who struggled with a hoe. She was now being asked to love the billionaire who hid behind dirt. Her eyes filled with tears. She looked away. Obinna's face fell slightly. He understood. He turned back to the crowd. "I do not expect everyone to forgive me," he said. "I understand if you are angry, but I promise this. From now on, I will be honest. I will support this village openly. We will build new farms and schools. We will help the sick without asking for their land. We will listen to the poor. We will respect each other. And if you still want me, I will be your sponsor not just for this festival, but for many years." People began to clap slowly. The clapping grew louder. Some shouted, "Thank you," some shouted, "God bless you." The drums started again, playing a joyful rhythm. People danced, children laughed, the tension eased. But in the middle of the joy, Nneka stood still, torn between love and pain. The festival exploded into celebration. People clapped, danced, and sang. Drummers beat their drums with renewed energy. Women ululated, letting out high-pitched cries of happiness. Men raised their hands and shouted. Children jumped up and down. The village shook with joy. They had wanted a sponsor. They had hoped for wealth. They now had both. They also had a story to tell for generations. The handsome sponsor had come disguised as a poor farmer. It felt like a story from a book, something that would be told by fires for years. People smiled at each other with a new warmth. Amid the joy, Amara felt like she was drowning. She stood to the side, her hands clenched into fists. Tears streaked her cheeks. Her heart pounded with anger and humiliation. The boy she had mocked and planned to ruin was a billionaire. The girl she had insulted and called foolish was being praised. People who once bowed to Amara now looked at her with pity or scorn. She felt small. She felt exposed. She wanted to run, but her feet felt heavy. Sade approached her, her eyes downcast. "Amara," she whispered. "What do we do?" Amara glared at her. "Nothing," she hissed. "We do nothing. We wait. We smile. We act like we are happy, but this is not over. They will see. He humiliated me today. I will not forget." She forced a smile on her face. She walked forward to congratulate Obinna. People watched her carefully. She hugged him lightly and whispered in his ear, "Congratulations, sir. You fooled us all." Her voice was sweet but sharp. He looked at her calmly and nodded. She turned and walked away, her smile fading as soon as she was out of his sight. Chief Eziugo was relieved and embarrassed at the same time. He had treated Obinna poorly, yet Obinna promised to help the village. He walked up to Obinna with open arms. "My son," he said loudly, "you have done a great thing. You have taught us humility. We are honored to have you. Please forgive my earlier harshness. I did not know." Obinna looked at him. He saw the chief's pride and fear. He smiled politely. "I understand, Chief," he said. "We all learn from our mistakes. Let us focus on making things right from now on." The chief laughed loudly, his tension melting into the celebration. He placed a bead necklace around Obinna's neck. The crowd clapped. The chief raised his hand. "Let us dance! Let us eat! Let us celebrate our benefactor!" he shouted. Drums rolled. People cheered. The feast began. Tables were filled with yam pottage, goat meat, beans, plantain, soup, and dried fish. Large pots bubbled over open fires. Women stirred soups. Men poured palm wine into gourds. Children carried trays of fruit. The aroma was rich and inviting. People lined up with bowls. They ate and laughed. They sang praises. They danced in circles. They chanted Obinna's name. Obinna smiled and danced with them. He lifted a small boy and spun him in the air. The boy squealed with delight. Obinna felt free for the first time in a long time. He felt loved for himself, not just for his money. He felt grateful. Yet amidst the celebration, his eyes kept searching for Nneka. He saw her standing under a tree, away from the crowd. She held a plate of food but did not eat. Her eyes were on him. She looked confused and hurt. He wanted to run to her, but he knew she needed space. He respected her silence. As the day went on, people ate, danced, and told stories. They took turns speaking into a large horn. "We thank you," said an old woman. "Our children will not be hungry," said a young mother. "Our village is blessed," said a teenage boy. Obinna nodded and thanked each of them. He promised to fund the school, repair the borehole, and provide fertilizers for farmers. People shouted, "Amen," and clapped. Evening approached. The sun began to set. Shadows grew longer. The drums slowed. People grew tired. Families returned to their homes with full bellies and happy hearts. Only a few remained in the square, including Obinna, Nneka, and her mother, Mama Ugo. Amara and Sade watched from a distance, whispering. Obinna walked toward Nneka slowly. Mama Ugo stood beside her daughter protectively. Nneka looked at Obinna with mixed emotions. Her eyes were red from crying. Her jaw was clenched. Her hands trembled slightly. Neka, Obina said softly, stopping a few steps away. Can we talk? She took a deep breath. She nodded curtly. Talk, she said. Her voice was cool but shaky. He glanced at Mama Yugo. She looked at him sternly, but her eyes softened a little. She stepped back, giving them space. But she listened closely. Obina faced Neka fully. I am sorry, he began. I lied to you. I did not tell you who I was. I came here to test people. But I tested you too hard. I hurt you. I let people laugh at you. You stood up for me. You risked your name. And I repaid you with secrets. I am sorry. Neka's eyes filled with tears again. She swallowed hard. You humiliated me, she whispered, in front of everyone. Twice. First, when they laughed at me for defending a thief. Now, when they realize I defended a billionaire, they will say I knew. They will say I wanted your money. They will talk behind my back forever. She looked at the ground. You used us as a game. I did not see it as a game, he said, his voice soft. I saw it as a test, but I see now that it hurt you. I am sorry, I cannot undo it. I can only ask for your forgiveness. I can only promise to be honest from now on. She looked up. Her eyes were wet but fierce. You think honesty now will erase the pain? She asked. It will not. You broke my trust. You made me look like a fool. You took my truth and made it your story. I do not know if I can forgive that. He felt her words like stones on his chest. He nodded slowly. I understand, he said. I will not ask you to decide now. I only ask that you do not close your heart forever. I will give you time. I will show you I can be trusted. She shook her head slightly. Trust is not something you show. It is something you earn, she said. You will have to earn it. You will have to start from nothing again. Because money does not mean anything to me. You know that now. He smiled sadly. I do know that, he said. And that is why I love you. It is not because you defended me. It is because you stood for truth when others hid. It is because you taught me to respect the ground. It is because your eyes speak more than your mouth. It is because you are the first person who made me want to be a better man. She blinked, her eyes softened just a fraction. She looked away quickly. Do not say love like that, she whispered. It is heavy. I cannot carry it now. I will carry it then, he said quietly. I will carry it and hold it for you until you are ready. If you never are, I will still be grateful to have known you. He bowed his head slightly. Mama Yugo stepped forward. She looked at Obina. My daughter speaks with fire, she said. I speak with water. You hurt her. She may not forgive you easily. But you also showed me that kindness can come from a rich heart. I thank you for helping our village. I will not curse you. But do not expect my daughter to forgive you quickly. She is not a goat you can buy with yam. She is my child, and she is proud. Respect her. Obina nodded. I respect her, he said. I respect you too, Mama, and I will respect whatever she decides. He turned to leave. He took a few steps, then stopped. He turned back. I will stay in the village for a while, he said. I will not run back to my houses and cars. I will work with the farmers. I will build the school with my hands. Not just my money. I will be here. When you are ready to talk, I will be here. Neka did not answer. She hugged her mother and buried her face in her shoulder. Tears poured down her cheeks. Mama Yugo held her tightly and patted her back. It is okay, she whispered. It is okay. Obina watched for a moment, then walked away slowly. He felt tears in his eyes too. He wiped them quickly with the back of his hand. He knew this was not the end. It was a new beginning, but it would be hard. That night, he slept at the hut again, even though he could have slept in the chief's house. He wanted to show he was still the same man who had slept on the mat. He wanted to show he would not run away from discomfort. He wanted to show Neneka he meant what he said. Meanwhile, Neneka lay on her mat, staring at the ceiling. She felt like she was living in a dream she could not wake up from. She felt love and betrayal wrestling inside her. She heard her mother snoring softly beside her. She thought about Obina's words. She thought about his eyes when he said he loved her. She thought about his dirty hands when he lifted yams. She thought about his words when he said, I want to know who sees my heart before my money. She fell asleep with tears on her cheeks. She dreamed of yam fields and a man walking with his head bowed. Amara lay on her bed, sleepless. She tossed and turned. She thought about how everything had changed. She thought about her father's disappointed face. She thought about the whispering crowd. She thought about Obinna loving Nneka. She thought about revenge. She promised herself she would not forget. Sade slept fitfully, fearing what punishment she might receive. She felt guilty. She also felt anger at Amara for dragging her into the mess. She hoped the sponsor's presence would soften the chief. She prayed to wake up and find everything was a bad dream. The village was quiet that night, but inside many hearts, storms raged. Morning came softly. The rooster crowed. Birds sang. The air smelled of firewood and fresh dew. People woke up with groggy eyes and sore muscles, remembering the feast from the day before. Some smiled at the memory. Some shook their heads, still in shock from Obinna's revelation. The news had spread beyond the village. Neighbors from nearby communities heard and came to see the man who pretended to be poor. They came with gifts of yams, plantain, palm wine and kola nut. They wanted to congratulate him. They wanted to see the woman who captured his heart. Obinna woke early. He bathed in the stream, the cold water waking him fully. He dressed in simple clothes again, not wanting to appear grand. He walked toward the square. He greeted everyone he passed. Some bowed, some hugged him, some whispered blessings. He smiled and thanked them. He felt lighter, even though he knew there were still heavy things to face. He saw Nneka at her roasted corn stand. She looked tired but beautiful. She wore a clean wrapper and simple blouse. Her hair was braided neatly. Her eyes were swollen from crying. She was arranging corn on the fire. Smoke rose around her. He wanted to speak to her, but he held back. He thought, give her time. He walked to the edge of the square. Chief Eziugo was waiting with elders. They greeted Obinna warmly. They wanted to show respect. They wanted to secure their new relationship. They also wanted to know his plans. He sat with them on a bench under a tree. Thank you again, my son, the chief said. We are honored. Our village will never forget this. Tell us what you plan to do next. We want to support you. Obinna smiled politely. Thank you, chief, he said. I plan to stay here for a while. I want to know your needs. I want to fix the broken borehole. I want to build a school. I want to provide seeds and tools for farmers. I will use my money, but I will also use my hands. I do not want to just write a check and leave. I want to be present. The elders nodded approvingly. That is good, one elder said. Money can spoil a village if not used wisely. Your hands will teach us humility and cooperation. Yes, Obinna said. We will work together. We will not let this wealth divide us. We will use it to lift each other. They continued talking. They discussed how to distribute resources fairly. They talked about setting up a committee, including women and youth. They talked about training farmers and teaching children. Obinna listened carefully. He suggested ideas. He also listened to theirs. He wanted them to feel included. As the meeting ended, a group of youths arrived with drums. They asked if they could play for Obinna. He nodded. They drummed loudly and danced. The rhythm was energetic. Obinna stood up and danced with them. People clapped and laughed. Joy returned, at least temporarily. Meanwhile, Nneka stayed at her corn stand. She felt both happy and sad. She sold corn to visitors. They congratulated her, thinking she was already engaged to Obinna. She forced smiles and muttered, "Thanks." She did not correct them. She did not have energy to explain. She just focused on turning the corn and passing them out. After a while, Mama Ugo joined her. She held a small basket of vegetables. She looked at her daughter's face. "Are you okay?" she asked quietly. Nneka shrugged. "I do not know," she replied honestly. "I feel heavy. I feel light. I feel angry. I feel grateful. I feel everything at once." Mama Ugo nodded. "You have the right to feel everything," she said. "Your life changed overnight. But I know one thing. You are stronger than you think. You will decide what to do with your heart. No one can rush you." Nneka looked at her mother. Tears filled her eyes again. "Thank you," she whispered. She hugged her mother quickly and then returned to her corn. The day went on with visits, meetings, singing and dancing. It was almost evening when Obinna stood at the square again. A large crowd gathered. He had asked to speak. He wanted to make a public promise. He did not want people to think he would disappear like some politicians. After making promises, "My people," he began, his voice strong and clear. "I have told the chief and elders my plans. I want to tell you all now. I will stay here and work with you. We will fix the borehole, build a school, and support farmers. We will set up a health fund for the sick. We will teach the youth new skills. We will not let any chief take your land unfairly. We will do this together. If anyone tries to abuse power, I will stand against it with you. We will write it down. We will sign it. We will hold each other accountable." People clapped and cheered. They shouted praise. They chanted his name. Some shouted blessings. Tears rolled down some cheeks. Hope filled the air. The drums played a hopeful rhythm. Obinna felt proud but also humbled. He knew words were easy. Actions would be harder. He was ready. After his speech, he looked around. He saw Naneka in the crowd, listening. He saw Amara too, watching with a fake smile. He saw Sadi, anxious. He saw the chief nodding. He saw youth, hopeful. He saw elders, thoughtful. He saw his assistant Kalechi, standing at the back, proud. Obinna felt his heart swell. He ended the speech and stepped down. As the crowd dispersed, Naneka slowly approached Obinna. Her steps were measured. Her face was serious. Obinna's heart pounded. He straightened his posture. "Neka," he said quietly. She nodded. She did not smile. "I heard your speech," she said. "It was good. Words are easy, actions are harder. I will watch your actions." "I know," he replied, "and I welcome it." She looked down. She was silent for a moment. Then she looked up into his eyes. "I still feel hurt," she said. "I still feel confused, but I cannot deny the good you want to do. I cannot deny what I feel when I see you. I hate that. I hate that I feel something good for someone who lied to me." He swallowed. "I hate that I lied to you," he said. "I understand if you cannot forgive me now. I will not rush you. I will not pressure you. I will prove myself with patience." She looked away for a moment, then back. "Do not give speeches about patience," she said, her tone slightly lighter. "Show it. We will see." She turned and walked away. He watched her go. He felt a tiny spark of hope. She did not slam the door completely. She left it open a crack. He smiled slightly. That night, Obinna walked to the small hut he had slept in since he arrived. He carried a lantern. He entered and lay down on the mat. The walls were the same. The ceiling was low. The floor was hard. But his heart felt different. He had told his truth. He had accepted consequences. He had made promises. Now he had to keep them. He closed his eyes. He thought about his father. He whispered, "I hope I did well, Papa. I hope I honored your words." He thought about Naneka. He whispered, "I will earn your trust." He thought about the village. He whispered, "I will help you." He fell asleep to the sound of crickets and distant drums. Meanwhile, in another hut, Amara lay awake. She stared at the ceiling, biting her nails. She whispered to herself, "He thinks it is over, but it is not. I will make sure he regrets humiliating me." Her eyes burned with anger. She plotted quietly, but her plans were not clear yet. She just knew she could not let this story end with her shame. Said lay on her mat, hugging her knees. She cried quietly. She prayed for forgiveness. She prayed for peace. She regretted everything. She wanted to leave the village, but she had nowhere to go. She closed her eyes and prayed again. Naneka lay on her mat, her mind swirling. She thought about Obinna's face when he said he loved her. She thought about his eyes when he lied. She thought about his hands when he carried yams. She thought about his voice when he apologized. She thought about his promise to help the village. She hugged her pillow and whispered, "Help me decide," before drifting to sleep. The village slept, full of stories, secrets, and new beginnings. A few days passed after Obinna's reveal. The festival ended, but the feelings it stirred remained. Obinna stayed in the village as he promised. He did not run back to Lagos. He did not hide in the chief's house. He woke early each day and worked with the farmers. He lifted yams. He carried water. He helped build a fence around the yam storage. He attended meetings with elders and youths. He shared ideas, but he also listened. He wrote plans down. He did not carry a notebook like before. He used a small slate and chalk like the villagers. This made people smile. They saw he was serious. He visited Mama Ugo's house to apologize formally. He knelt before her and Naneka's father, who lay on a mat inside their small room. "I am sorry for the trouble I caused your family," he said sincerely. "I know my actions brought shame and pain. I cannot change the past, but I will help you in any way you need. Not because I pity you, but because you deserve respect." Mama Ugo listened. She nodded slowly. "You are a rich man, but you kneel before us," she said softly. "That shows humility. I am not a rich woman. I cannot give you money, but I can give you advice. Do not let your pride ruin the good in you. Keep your promises, and do not hurt my daughter again." Neka's father coughed. He looked at Obinna with tired eyes. He managed a weak smile. "God sees hearts," he whispered. "He saw mine when I was a young man. He sees yours now. Do right by my daughter. Do right by our people." Obinna nodded, tears in his eyes. "I will," he said. He left a small envelope of money quietly under the mat, not wanting to embarrass them. He also asked a doctor from Lagos to visit and check on Neka's father. The doctor came quietly and gave him treatment. Slowly, the old man's health improved. Mama Ugo thanked Obinna, but she still watched him carefully. Obinna kept his promise about the borehole. He bought a new pump and pipes. He worked with young men to install it. They dug, laid pipes, and connected the pump. They cheered when clean water gushed out. Women danced and sang. "Water is life," they chanted. Children splashed and laughed. Obinna stood back, smiling. He let others turn the knob first. He drank last. He also started building the school. He hired local builders but worked with them. He carried bricks and mixed cement. He got calluses again, he sweated. He laughed when a boy accidentally spilled cement on his shirt. He did not shout. He smiled. He told stories about Lagos to entertain the workers. He learned new songs from them. They teased him. He teased them back. They bonded. People saw him as one of them. They respected him more for it. At night, he sat with youths under the tree by the square. They talked about their dreams. Some wanted to be teachers. Some wanted to be doctors. Some wanted to be football players. He listened. He encouraged them. He told them about scholarship opportunities. He promised to fund some of them. They applauded. He also reminded them of the importance of humility and kindness. He visited Amara's house one afternoon. She was surprised. She had been avoiding him. She looked embarrassed and angry. "What do you want?" she asked, crossing her arms. "I came to apologize," he said calmly. "I am sorry for the humiliation you feel. I did not intend to shame you. I only wanted to find truth. I hope one day you will forgive me." She rolled her eyes. "Forgive you? For what? For making me look like a fool? For telling everyone my father is not fair? For making Nanika look like a queen while I look like a villain?" she snapped. "No," he replied. "For letting my test hurt you. I am sorry for that. I know I cannot change your mind now, but maybe time will soften it." She looked at him, surprised by his gentle words. She expected arrogance. She expected blame. Instead, she got humility. It unsettled her. She glanced away. "I do not need your apology," she said quietly, but her voice lacked its usual bite. He nodded. "I will still say it," he said, "and I promise to respect you and your family moving forward." He left. She watched him go. Something inside her shifted. She would not admit it, but she felt a small weight lift. Sadie watched from her door. She felt shame when she looked at Obinna. She had lied. She had betrayed. She had been caught. She had apologized, but she still felt guilt. Obinna walked up to her. "Are you okay?" he asked kindly. She nodded slowly. "I am trying," she said softly. "You made a mistake," he said. "You are not evil. Learn from it. Do not let Amara or anyone push you into lies again. You are responsible for your actions. Be brave next time." She looked at him with wide eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. "I will try." He smiled gently and walked away. She watched him go, feeling both lighter and heavier. She decided to be better. Days turned into weeks. Obina's projects progressed. People saw buildings rising, pipes working, and children studying under trees waiting for the new classrooms. They saw Obina working daily. They admired him. They talked about him with respect, not just for his money but for his heart. Nanika watched from a distance. She saw him carry bricks. She saw him laugh with youths. She saw him kneel before elders. She saw him greet poor people warmly. She saw him keep his promises. Her anger slowly melted, replaced by something softer. She started to talk to him again, not about love, but about the village needs. She told him which paths flooded in the rainy season. She told him which children needed school fees. He listened and acted. She respected that. One evening, weeks after the festival, Naneka was walking home after selling corn. The sun was low, casting a golden glow on the village. She saw Obina near the yam barn, struggling to lift a bundle of firewood. He had put the rope in the wrong place. It slipped. He almost dropped it. She laughed quietly to herself. She walked over. "You still do not know how to carry firewood," she said, her tone teasing but kind. He looked up, surprised and happy to see her smile. "I need another lesson," he said. She shook her head, smiling. "No, you need practice," she said. "But I will help." She tied the rope correctly and showed him how to balance the bundle on his shoulder. He tried. He still struggled. She laughed, and so did he. They walked together toward her house. They talked about simple things: the weather, the harvest, the children playing nearby. They laughed about his mistakes with the hoe when he first arrived. They remembered the day she taught him to dig yam. They remembered the missing money scandal. They remembered the moment he revealed himself. They were able to laugh at some parts, even though they still felt pain about others. At her compound gate, she stopped. She faced him. "You have kept your promise," she said softly. "You have stayed. You have helped. You have not run away. You have been humble. I see that. My anger is not as sharp as before. It is dull now. It hurts less, but the hurt is still there." He nodded. "I know," he said. "I will keep working. I will keep showing you. I will be patient. I have no choice. I want nothing more than your trust." She looked at the ground. She shuffled her feet. "Do you still?" she began, then stopped. She took a deep breath. "Do you still love me?" He looked at her with gentle eyes. "Yes," he said simply. "I love you like the first yam of harvest, fresh and pure. I love you for your strength, your honesty, your stubbornness, your kindness. I love you when you are angry and when you smile. I love you with my whole heart." Her eyes filled with tears. She looked up at him, searching his face. She saw no lies there. She saw only sincerity and hope. She felt something warm bloom in her chest. She looked away, then back. She smiled a little. "I believe you," she whispered. His heart leaped. He smiled widely. "Thank you," he whispered back. "I am still afraid," she said quickly. "I am afraid of what people will say. I am afraid of your world and mine clashing. I am afraid of losing myself." He took her hands gently. "You will not lose yourself," he said. "I will protect your heart. We will build our world together, one yam at a time. We will not rush. We will listen. We will respect each other. You can tell me everything. I will tell you everything. No more tests. No more secrets." She nodded slowly. "No more tests," she repeated. She smiled fully now. It lit up her face. "And no more lies." "No more lies," he promised. They smiled at each other. They heard children laughing in the background. They heard women singing. The world felt right for a moment. He squeezed her hands gently. "Will you marry me?" he asked softly. "Not today, not tomorrow, but one day soon, when your heart is ready." She laughed softly. "You are asking me here, in front of this yam barn? Without flowers? Without kneeling?" she teased. He looked embarrassed. "I have no flowers," he said. "I can kneel if you want." He started to kneel, but she stopped him. "No," she said, still laughing. "No kneeling. Not now. Ask properly when the time is right. For now, I will answer the real question. Yes, I will marry you one day, but only if you promise me something." "Anything," he said quickly. "No more tests," she repeated. "If you want to know something, ask. If you feel unsure, speak. Do not test me with lies and games. We will talk. We will argue. We will agree. But we will not test, he nodded fervently. I promise, he said. No more tests. She smiled. Then yes, she said. I will marry you when I am ready. Let us take it step by step. He grinned widely. He wanted to shout, but he controlled himself. He felt like the world had given him a second chance. He whispered, "Thank you." He pulled her into a gentle hug. She hugged him back. They stood like that for a while, feeling each other's warmth, hearing each other's heartbeat. They felt peace. In the weeks and months that followed, Obinna and Nneka slowly built their life together. They did not rush. They met often. They walked together in the evenings. They talked about their fears and hopes. They argued sometimes. But they resolved their arguments with honesty. He introduced her to books. She taught him new farming techniques. They visited Lagos together once, but only after she insisted on wearing her village clothes proudly. They took Mama Ugo and Nneka's father on the trip. They stayed in Obinna's mansion, but they ate yam pottage cooked by Nneka. They laughed. They took pictures. They returned to the village, happier and closer. The school was completed and filled with children. The borehole worked. The health fund helped many. The farming support program increased harvests. The village changed slowly but steadily. People smiled more. They looked healthier. They learned to trust themselves and each other. They remembered the lesson. Kindness matters more than money. Amara's anger softened over time. She watched Obinna and Nneka from a distance. She saw their love. She felt jealous sometimes, but she also felt respect. She realized she had been shallow. She decided to improve herself. She apologized to Nneka properly one day, and they became civil. She learned to help people without cameras. She became kinder. Sad became a better friend. She distanced herself from bad influences. She helped in the school. She told young girls not to lie. She protected them from teasing. She found peace in honesty. Chief Eziugo learned humility. He allowed people to speak more freely. He listened. He shared power. He respected Obinna's suggestions. He accepted corrections. He treated poor people better. He paid his debts. He did not use his position to threaten. People respected him again. Obinna and Nneka eventually married. It was not a grand wedding in Lagos. It was in Ireti, under the same tree where he had first eaten yam as a poor farmer. He wore a simple white outfit. She wore a white wrapper and blouse, with coral beads. Their families sat on mats and benches. Elders prayed. Children danced. The drummer played a soft, steady rhythm. They exchanged simple vows. "I will tell you the truth, even when it is hard," Obinna said. "I will listen and speak with respect," Nneka replied. "I will not test you," he promised. "I will not doubt you without asking," she said. They smiled. They joined hands. They walked around the village, carrying a yam together as a symbol of their union. People showered them with yam flour and sang. They laughed. They danced. They ate pounded yam and egusi soup. They celebrated. As the sun set on their wedding day, Obinna looked at Nneka and whispered, "You loved a poor farmer first." She laughed. "I loved a man who needed help holding a hoe," she said. "And you still love him?" he asked. "I love the man," she replied. "Not the money, not the title. The man who respects the ground and does not fight it. The man who respects truth. The man who loves me the same way." He smiled. He kissed her gently on the forehead. "No more tests," he said. "No more tests," she echoed. They looked at the sky turning orange and pink. They held hands. They felt a gentle breeze. They heard laughter around them. They felt content. They knew they would face challenges, but they would face them together. They knew they would argue, but they would communicate. They knew they would grow, not alone, but as one. And so, the woman who loved a poor farmer became the wife of a wealthy man. But she loved him first when he had dust on his clothes. She loved him for his kindness and his hunger, and he loved her for her strength and her truth. Together they lived with humility, honesty, and love. No more tests.